So everybody say chef. Say it.
Chef.
Chef. Say cliché.
Cliché.
Good, yeah. Everybody say parachute.
Parachute.
You know,
Parachute.
yeah. What sound is that CH?
SH.
Yeah.
It's like
cliché.
achèvement.
Yeah, like a cliche, like she.
Ouais.
She. Yeah, good, Meg. So CVIPA we would use for that. Yep. See where Megan's cursor is there? That shh.
And
A
so
clue that it comes from French is the CH with that sh sound. Now, not always, so you have to check. But
compare that to the CH that we see in these words that derived from Greek. What do you notice about the difference there?
say
Tati, what do you see?
out loud, yeah.
Oris K. C.
Good, K, yeah. Chlorine.
Echo.
Echo.
It's like the pronunciation of the C and H.
The CH is making what sound in echo?
K.
It's a K, yeah. Yeah. And how about, so see if you can find, just by that, there's two words in Old English that should be in Greek there, because they're the CH making the K sound.
The last one, ACHE.
Yep. How do we pronounce that word?
Ache.
Ache. Good. Good. That helped you figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And what was the other one, Pukiza? You saw the other one.
It was school.
School.
I swear I didn't fill this out. This was my student. With all the wrong
and there's one more.
Christmas.
Yes.
And this always throws people off because I think when they look at the entry in Edom, they see Old English first and they don't keep reading, right? And so I think that's why, that's my guess, why people are putting it.
Pukiza, do you know, or all of you, you weren't in there, but can you see what patterns do you notice in Old English?
Like pronunciation of GH.
Yeah, and what is the pronunciation of that GH?
Like F in the
Rough.
Okay,
Yeah.
which ones are saying the F sound with the, and it's, yeah, see how Megan did UGH? It's actually a trigraph. It's 3 letters. What other
Rough.
words have good?
Rough.
UGH, yeah.
Yeah, rough.
Enough.
Good. Enough. Okay, so UGH making the sound, chances are it came from Old English, right?
Oh,
So it's right there in the spelling that we see that. There's another pattern.
Like yeah. So,
Well, look at the other words. Look at the other words.
Highlight, like the GH, I.
Yeah, IGH. High light.
How about, do you see that pattern again?
And Meg, get the first IGH in the high. Thanks. I'm really bossy.
It looks like one block of yellow, but there is an L in between.
Yeah.
How about our other word here? Do you notice something similar?
Side.
Yeah, what about it?
Right here.
Neighborhood, I think.
Yeah, neighborhood. So what sound does the IGH make in high? High.
It's like I.
Yeah. How about light? Light.
I.
Yeah.
I.
Good. High. You hear I in neighbor? Neighbor.
Like A.
Yeah, A. Guess what that IGH is there? It's a marker. It's not there for pronunciation. Neighbor, Meg, underneath neighbor, type in nigh. N-I-G-H. Is that how you spell nigh? Night draws nigh. It means near. I have to, hang on, let me look that up. So I want to make sure. I might be getting too
Night.
But
So-
the question is why they add in these letters and
Such a good question.
why they add in these letters and they like what for example rough, why they didn't just put the F in the end to get the right word, maybe about the roots.
Like, so you're saying why
That's
not spell like,
exactly why. It's because
Okay.
of the etymology, where the word
Okay.
came from. Exactly. So when you see that and you say, why isn't there an F? Now you can say, I bet
Yes.
it's from Old English.
Yeah.
right, and we
Since
see-
it's from an old English, why they didn't change it for the new
Well, and the funny
English?
thing is, if we showed you Old English looks nothing like present day English. It looks so very different.
Different.
Meg, put in neighborhood. Because you asked why is the, and Adam, so, and then go to neighbor. And see N-I-G-H?
Yeah.
That means near, nigh. And your neighbor is somebody who lives near you, right?
Ah, okay.
And your neighborhood are all the people that live near you, right? So that IGH in neighborhood is showing it's relative to NIGH 9. So it doesn't
Why they
have,
didn't?
say that again?
Why they like add the NEIGH and why is not on the old English NIGH?
See how it was spelled in Middle English?
Mm-hmm. Ah,
And
yeah.
see how it was spelled in Old English?
and so our spelling looks a lot closer to Middle English than
Yeah.
Old
Go
English.
back to the Old English. In Old English, it used to be HG. And then in Middle English, it was GH. And they used to pronounce it. They used to have this very guttural, if you hear Old English, it was like, gah. Like I can't even do it. My throat doesn't do it.
Yeah, okay.
But our language changes over time. But our
Yeah.
spelling, interestingly enough, the IGH is in there because neighbor is related to nigh. And so it's in the spelling that that relationship is in there. It makes us go crazy because we say that, but now when you go to spell neighbor and you think, oh, there's an IGH in there, knowing that it's related to nigh, and that means near, and your neighbor is near you,
Yeah.
might help you remember the spelling more
Yeah.
than just
exactly.
memorizing it, right?
Yeah.
And it tells us here, when we looked up rough, right, it tells us about the original GH sound.
Good. Yeah.
Right, that we see in those other words as well. So a sound was guttural, as in Scottish lock.
And that's pronounced like lock. It's such a, I
Yeah.
can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't, we know it wasn't pronounced lock. But yeah, so, and
Like
that's
they
like,
put it lighter now. It's lighter and it's easy to pronounce.
yeah. Yeah, so all of that, right, is like part of understanding the system, right? And so it doesn't mean like we can assume anything about a word, because I mean, there may be words that don't come from one of these languages that we would guess, right? So we always have to check, but now we're noticing these patterns
Yeah.
that happen like fairly consistently. So it's not just learning the one word neighbor, right, or rough, but to understand, right, how these things are working, right, how the letters are functioning in these words. Right? And it comes back to the markers that we studied in the very beginning, right, that they're not every letter is representing a sound.
Yes.
And so why are they there? Now we know why
Yeah,
some of
now
these
we
letters
know.
are there.
So whenever you see a word and you think, why? Chances
Now.
are it's the etymology.
Yes.
You know, that if you check it out in and sometimes it's really hard to find. So I have a student ask, why is there a U in build? And I still don't really have a good answer. I kind of have an answer, but not really. Like some are really clear in seeing them and some not so clear. And that could be for another day, right? But so if we look at the word and the family and the system is morphophonemic. It has the morphology and the phonology, but it also has the etymology as well. That's our system. And so when we do these searches, right? So here, when you do the plus signs, you're dealing with the morphology. You're dealing with the structure and the form. When we're looking at the how the sound changes with the prefixes and the suffixes, then we're dealing with the phonology, the sound of it. Yes. But Zira, you said it though. Based on the letters we use and figuring out those sounds, that comes from the etymology, right? So that it's this interrelated system that when we use all three of those systems, we can make sense of English, because a lot of people say English is crazy and you can't make sense of it. But Megan and I have been studying this for about 3 years, and we are like, so just now cliche that like blows me away, and it always blows me away. Like, anyway, because it does make sense. And when it makes sense, then we don't say, oh, this is just a crazy language. This is just chaotic. It doesn't make any sense. I just have to memorize. I never had a good memory. I was always a really bad speller. This has helped me with my spelling, you know?
Yes, exactly.
And that E, that Faziri, that you always question, right? Is there an E there? I mean, that's also a part of the system as well, right?
Yes.
We see that happening consistently. And, you know, so now we understand, right, why we see that E in a word like revise and we don't see it in revision. Right? That's
and when we drop the E and add a vowel suffix, that's the system too, right? So these are we're trying to show you all the pieces to the system.
Yeah.